15 to 20 minutes. That's all the time it needs for one of North Korea's ballistic missiles to reach Hawaii. Now that's even faster than the tsunami that hit the islands after the earthquake in Japan in 2011. In response to the communist regime's prevailing aggression in the Pacific, the state of Hawaii has stepped up efforts to help the general public prepare for the worst-case scenario. EBC Hawaii correspondent Alfred Acenas attended the latest open forum on this subject and files this report.
Although a remote possibility, a nuclear threat to Hawaii by North Korea is still possible, and the state government is doing what it can to educate the public through public forums taking place right now here at the Capitol. This latest of a series of hearings was organized by the state's Defense Department to include the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, headed by Vern Miyagi, and the Hawaii National Guard, headed by Major General Arthur Logan. Representatives of various neighborhoods and communities, as well as public and private organizations throughout the state, were also in attendance. Dignitaries present included Hawaii State Senator Clarence Nishihara. During the slide presentation, Miyagi stressed that such a preparation applied to both Hawaii's permanent residents and its large tourist population. He began by providing a historical background on North Korea's rise as a nuclear power and its current potential of hitting Hawaii and other locations. Many of the attendees listened closely and even took notes. Miyagi then walked the audience through on the precautions to take individually and as a family or group, emphasizing the need for supplies that should last up to 14 days. He also promoted the state's online resources. He even reminded that the Pacific is still under a hurricane season until the end of November, and encouraged everyone to draw some hard lessons learned from recent and ongoing events out in the Atlantic. After the presentation, members of the public actively took part in the question and answer portion. One of them addressed her concerns of being under attack while stuck in one of the country's worst traffic jams. Emergency Management Executive Officer Toby Claremont acknowledged and offered this advice.
One thing we know about planning for these types of scenarios is that there are no good solutions for a lot of the issues that come up. And one of them is, what do you do when you're in your car and you're driving? If you remain in your vehicle, we know that the effects of the weapon would be actually amplified by being in the vehicle. This was validated during testing in the Nevada test site. Your best scenario is you can get out of the car. Okay, so how do you get out of the car moving 60 miles an hour? It is just similar. You think of it like an ambulance coming up behind you. Slow down, pull over the side of the road, get out of the vehicle and lay flat on the ground. Or if you can pull over right next to a concrete or other substantial structure, head for it. But there are going to be people on the road. It's going to be chaotic. They'll probably bang each other in the process. The idea of the sirens going off and driving is pretty terrifying. At the same time, they're hearing it on their radio and on their phone, thinking about their families. It's a tough place to be. But if you're fortunate, you can pull over, slow down, stop, get out. And the idea behind that first phase is to preserve human life in those first few seconds. That's one of the things you need to actively think about. And as Vern was saying a little while ago, if you're driving to work in the morning or going to whatever your routine is, as you're driving around, be thinking about what you would do if you heard this. I would. It would be smart. It's a whole new routine that we kind of need to get into. It's not a difficult thing to imagine, but just say, hey, if it happened right now, I'd pull off on Vineyard Street, I'd pull over on the side, and that's where I would be. But does that mean that it's going to be safe or easy? I don't think so.
For now, Miyagi and other officials have urged residents to get inside, and stay tuned.
If they're in the school, the Department of Education has a shelter-in-place program already, so they're existing programs. But what you have to know is that plan ahead of time so you know this. So when you do your shelter in place, you are comforted in knowing that your family has already planned this and you know exactly where they are. Because you cannot call, hi honey, I'm going to pick you up, pick up the kids at school, and we'll go find a shelter. You will not have time for it. So,
as of this report, North Korean officials have indicated plans to test yet another hydrogen weapon somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. To recall, Hawaii is about 4,600 miles or roughly 7,500 kilometers from North Korea. Meanwhile, efforts on the diplomatic front continue, to include the Chinese central bank's decision to halt all of its banks in doing business with North Korea, which many believe has been instrumental in resourcing its nuclear program. Reporting from the state capital here in Honolulu, I'm Alfred Asenas for Eagle News. I'm Juan with 25.